right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Small Business Lover podcast. We have a very special guest with us today. I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm Priscilla. I'm the owner of Fresh Paws Mobile Spa.
Priscilla surprised me with this immunity shot. It's turmeric, pineapple, and vitamin C. So we're gonna start it with this because
Yes.
I'm
And
scared.
energy.
And you do the whole thing.
Salud.
Cheers,
Yeah.
girl.
Cheers.
Ugh.
It's not that bad.
It counted. I made a face. And I burped. Okay, so Fresh Paws Mobile Spa. I met you through Natasha. She is the owner of Cutie Cute Pet Boutique, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. The first time I met you was at the old store.
Yeah. Oh, it was a paint my buddy event.
I love that.
And we did like the mountains with the dogs. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then you brought your pup too.
My little baby.
Yeah, you brought him, and it was 8 of us or like 7 of us. It was a really fun event.
Like, it's fun intertwining each other's businesses and I
Yes.
seeing all these like really cool collabs come out of it.
Yeah.
I swear you and I were destined to meet because of the fire.
Yeah.
I swear.
Oh gosh, I'm so exhausted thinking about
Girl,
it.
same. I've been tired since like January.
It comes and goes, like to be honest, like it was such a community effort. And when we first started coordinating everything, I didn't see no movement in Orange County. No pun intended to anybody. Don't come after me.
Yeah.
Please.
Don't cancel us.
Don't cancel us. But it just happened so fast. And I feel like it was a community that came forward quicker than we thought. And it was honestly a group effort, like coordinating logistics, the drivers, the volunteers, people donating. Like there was just so much community. And like it was really beautiful to see, like just that outreach. And it was chaotic. It was like endless nights of non-sleep and like trying to figure everything out. Like not only like did we play, like Adriana from La Panaderia opened up a store like to bring in donations. You brought in like your sort for donations, Orange County, and it was just a whole ball of chaos, but it was like beautiful to see.
It
And
was tough.
it was tough. And we were just a factor in it. Like the people in the community, like they're the ones who are suffering. And hopefully, like, it takes time to rebuild. And they're trying to get back on their feet. And I hope that they are getting back on their feet. But I hope that even this small gesture that we did, like, brought them a little bit of light.
What I was hearing with the people that were coming was
Mhm.
like, oh my God, we're so grateful that
Mhm.
you opened up your doors because we want to help. A lot of people had nowhere to go. They didn't know
Yes.
where to go.
Yeah.
Um, there was a lot of different things. And then you see all these collection sites that just got out of control. And I didn't even want to go there. So I think it was cool that we offered our space.
Mhm.
But it started at the Ponderia in Downey, right? Like she
Correct.
was the one that was like, let's figure this out.
Yes.
So love her. Shout out. I've never
Yes.
met her, but shout out to her.
Sweetest girl ever. Like that girl is a hustler. She is doing great things, not only for like herself, but like for the dog community too. She's very involved right now. She's fostering, I want to say 4 dogs. She does a lot for the community. Like also like DC Darley also helped coordinate the event. My sister too. It was a lot of factors, a lot of people putting into like one whole, I don't know what you would call it, but it was beautiful to see. It was very emotional. It was anything like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then I remember being tired and I was like, okay, I shouldn't complain.
yeah,
I can't complain about being tired,
yeah.
you know?
You feel, for me, you just feel guilty, like your whatever you call your normal life moves on, but all these people are just shattered in pieces and like they're trying to put their life back together, and you just kind of like, well, here's some help. Like there's so much you can do as a person, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, like even for yourself, like you put others before yourself, but you have to remember it's also you too. You have to put yourself first.
Dude, I closed a day. I think after that weekend, I was like, I'm tired. Like I need a
Yeah.
day just to recoup.
Even that, like for me, it's very hard to shut it off. Like
Mm-hmm.
on my days off, like I'm always working. And I don't think a lot of people realize, like as business owners, like I don't shut mine off. Like I try to, but I can't. Like I don't know. That's like my goal for this year is to kind of like put myself ahead, because at the end of the day, it's like no one else is gonna take care of me. And it's only one of us, and there's a lot of people out there.
Oh yeah.
You do have to prioritize yourself, and I feel like we always get lost in that rumble.
Well, I think that we just appreciate our customers so
Hmm.
much more because it's
Yeah.
literally our bottom line. It's like, it's us. Hi, I'm her. I'm the bottom line.
Yeah.
Like, we really value our customers
Mhm.
and we don't want to disappoint them.
Yes.
So,
I know my husband's like, even on vacation, he's like, put down the phone. I'm like, dude, like, no, like if I don't put down my phone or like I'm not answering, I get so behind or whatever the case is, but like I just feel guilty not responding. Or he's like, even take 1 hour. I'm like, no. Like I may like lag it, but you have to also think if I'm working on a dog and whatever their temperament is, let's just say they're reactive. The
mhm,
last thing I want to do is like texting or
yeah.
taking a call. What if something happens to that dog? So I'm like, you have to put yourself in like that owner's shoes too, or like that dog's POV. And what if something happens? So I try to be as cautious as I could. So even when I drive too, I'm like, I'm very spazzy when it comes to driving because I'm just, there's like
I
a
know,
squirrel
girl.
somewhere.
Well, when you were
Where's
like,
the
I was
squirrel?
like, Gisela, we need a driver for the box shop. You're like, I'll take it. I was like, shit, I don't know.
Shoot, well, the first van that my mom and I bought was like a city van.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm like, I could back that up. Like,
How long have you been doing this? How long have you been grooming?
so I've been grooming for almost 6 years, so five and a half
Wow.
years. But I started kind of like in a garage, like
Yeah.
with my mom. And my mom started before me, so she's been at it for like 7 years. And it's just crazy because we've always had businesses. So when she got here with my sister on foot, like through TJ, and it was
Wow.
her and my mom only. And my sister was one, I believe. So the moment she got here, like she found a job. We lived at a bridal shop, like being in Long Beach on 7th Street. Ironically, I was there around there yesterday. And I remember going up to like the window shop and like staring at people with like the windows because she used to be a seamstress in Argentina. Great seamstress. Like she would make her costumes and everything. My mom had businesses growing up. So she had an event planning business. So you name your floral, I know it. I know what goes into an arrangement and why it costs what it costs. Chair covers, any details when it comes to event planning. I'm like, I get it. I get it. It's your time. Because, oh my gosh, like her and my grandma would make the covers, everything on
Mhm.
hand. And I remember making bowls for like two to like 1,000 people for an event. You go either the day before you set up and then you go back that night to collect. And it's like a whole process. But she had that. She had her driving school. She used to teach people how to
Oh
drive.
my God.
Yeah, she's like a Barbie. Like if you grew up with me, you know my mom, that lady was like, she had a lot of jobs, but she did them well. And I feel like she put that onto my sister and I. Like she's always taught us like kind of hustle. So going back to like me, I got laid off like during the pandemic, just like many of us. And I was already helping her prior. I went to learn a different skill set. And she's like, do you want to learn? I'm like, what's there to lose at this point? Like I told myself I wasn't going to go back to an office setting. Like I did HR, I did administration work, and I did management work for a long time. And I feel like that burned me out so much.
Yeah.
Like it took away a lot of life in me.
Hmm.
And I'm a very lively person.
You are.
And so I'm like, for something like that to take away a lot of life in me, like I need a change.
I think about those things where
Yeah.
like, I feel like the first year coming out of
Hmm.
that environment,
Hmm.
I don't know if you went through the same thing, but I
Hmm.
was like, how much of it was me? Like, how much
Yeah.
of the problem was me? Because
Hmm.
I feel like I can't blame a company for my grind and hustle, but I
Hmm.
also forgive myself for not having boundaries.
Yeah. Well, I feel like personally, and I'm not attacking any company. I feel like a lot of corporations take advantage of you. And that's what I felt like we were being taken advantage of. Like, um, and working from like 12 to 14 hours every day and being on call, I'm like, it sucked. And especially because like I work for an American brand and they expect so much of you, but then
Hmm.
like you want to love the brand, but you see all these negative lines and I'm just like, oh no, there was no support. Like I feel like there's no support. You take a lot from that and you're just like, I will never be that. Like I can't do it.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, after the pandemic, a lot of
Mhm.
people were like, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore. The ones that,
Yeah.
got laid off or
Mhm.
maybe were out of work for a little bit. And then you hear that there's this boom in like small business
Yeah.
creation. I feel like everything's cyclical.
Yeah.
I feel like that was almost a master reset.
Mhm.
As hard as it was a really hard time, but it's like, what is going to be the fruit of that seed?
What I tell people, I'm like, if you really want to try it, just do it.
Mm-mm,
At that point, like we all have to fail at one point.
mm-hmm,
I felt like I started off slow because I was so used to having a salary and like a good package to come with that. You're so reliant on like that security. But when it comes to starting or having a business, like sometimes there's no security with
Yeah.
it.
And that's like the scariest part.
That is the scariest part. Example, like I had great vacation time. Like I had like a whole month off. Like I had sick time, like like the
Yeah.
whole 9 yards. And then you go from having like paid vacation to not having paid vacation.
Yeah.
Like when I have to work at least 2 weeks straight in order for me to like at least take a couple of days off, like to be comfortable or like to cover whatever bills I have or like whatever the case is, right? Or like if my groomer takes time off, I'm like, okay, like I try to cover her clients and I try to cover my clients. That way, like we're not so far behind. So I don't think people realize like having a business, it comes with a lot of factors and a lot of branches that it sucks sometimes, but honestly, at this point, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
There's days where
Same.
you're just like, you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I think this whole month, I was like, what am I doing? Like I felt like I was stuck in a rut, but I'm like, I had to analyze my past months. I'm like, it's been a lot. Like it's literally been a lot. So when it comes to being a business owner, like there's just so much emotion behind it. And not only that, it's exhausting. Like
There's like
you,
this
I don't know
weird,
how to, yeah,
no, there's like a shift happening. I feel like
yeah,
I'll speak for myself.
mhm,
Like, I know that. Like,
yeah,
I've done this for, a year, and like
mhm,
I've met so many amazing
yeah,
people, like amazing women that are also in business
mhm,
that have had that experience to
mhm,
have the security and have the life that you're
yeah,
supposed to have.
yeah,
And now we're in this new venture together, and it's like, God, it's hard,
yeah,
but I wouldn't change it for the world. And
yeah,
it's like, how do we adapt?
mhm,
'Cause you said that it's hard. You can't turn off.
yes,
I can easily get in that mode where I just like go all in,
mhm,
but I have to tell myself every day, you left that environment for a reason. Hold your boundaries.
100%.
Like, don't respond. It's
Mhm.
very rare when I give my phone number out to people, and when I do, it's like, girl, I love you. Like, you have my
Yeah,
number. But when it comes to work, I'm like, no, I prefer email because at
mhm,
least I can shut that off.
yeah, I can't.
Like, I try to be, and I think it's
Yeah,
just different worlds. Like,
yeah,
I'm able to do that. You're not necessarily retail, where like you have to perform a service to get paid. And
exactly.
that's a whole other challenge.
Yeah, the way I see it's like we provide a convenience service. Like versus a salon is way different because
Hmm.
a salon you have a set number. Yeah, maybe the owner's still replying back, but like you have like your set hours. For me, it's I go to you, I have to respond, but there's it and it comes with cost. Like if you're having something custom, it's gonna cost.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
feel like somebody that's going to your house always going to have an additional cost. So that always has like more like liability onto you. So there's a lot of things that we're still learning as business owners. And this is one of them. Like we need to educate people like, hey, you're going to have some sort of job delivered to your house, like it's going to cost you, especially when it comes to a convenience fee.
Mhm.
So you see more pop-ups like people are coming to your house to do your eyelashes or tattoo sessions or makeup, whatever it is, that costs money. You don't think about the person who's providing this service. It's like they are coming to your house because whatever the case is. So I'm like with us, it's like we have to try to make up that margin, but sometimes there's no wiggle room because we downplay
Yeah.
ourselves. And I don't feel like that's fair too, because like for me, like I did a lot of analytical work or when I would do payroll, I'm like, how much does it cost to actually hire an employee?
Hmm.
How much does it cost to train an employee? Once they are fine to swim off on their own, what if the employee goes away? Whatever the case is, I'm like, okay, so it costs money to hire an employee, it costs money to train an employee, and it costs money to let go or, fire an employee. That costs money. So, and then there's obviously like your equipment, your time, and, I lift big dogs.
And your van is so cute.
Thank you.
I mean, the first time I saw it
Yeah.
was when you came to pick up donations, but
Yes.
I was like, this is so cute.
Yeah, there's a lot of mobile salons now coming to your house. So everything's already all in one. I think we're in that era about convenience.
Mhm.
Like we have deliveries that come the next day within 24 hours of your house. Like that's a convenience.
Do you feel like that is helping though? I
Um,
talk about that a lot on this podcast because that's
mhm.
kind of
What do you mean by helping?
like I think about that a lot where
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, I love that I can get things next day, but what is that actually doing to retail?
I feel like retail is dying. Like example, a couple of weeks ago, I was in Brigham Long, like Forever 21 was closing. I was like, what the hell is going
It's
on?
like the end of an era.
Yeah, and I was like, I love going to the mall and like buying a shirt for like $5, like to go to a concert or I just miss like that social interaction. Ironically, like I'm an introvert, but I don't like talking to people that
Meet
are
my fellow
strangers.
Aquarius sister. I see her soul. I totally get
Yes.
it. No, I totally get it.
Yeah, so I'm like, I like that interaction, but that's not that interaction, that direct
It's
thing,
like
but
you
indirect.
want to have a you day where
Yes.
you interact temporarily and you
Yes.
get that fixed and you're like, okay, cool, I get to go home and like be by myself now.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that's why I'm like I like going to the mall like Monday through Wednesday, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's perfect. It's empty. But I saw like that whole shift change. Like it's kind of sad because we grew up in a different era. Like now everything's more accessible. So it's all about accessibility and it's all about like convenient at this point.
I feel like it's scary
It
because
is.
everything is convenient.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I saw this article where it
Mhm.
was like, are we romanticizing and glamorizing relationships from the past? Where like, I don't know, like my grandparents were
Mhm.
married for over 50
Mhm.
years, you know? And it's like, why did that work? But I feel like ultimately at the end of the day, there wasn't accessibility like there is today.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you can
So,
literally get on your phone and go on a date tomorrow. Like it's
yeah.
crazy.
Even like my husband, like, and I talk about it, I'm like, we met the old school way.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't ever think I could do
No, hell
online,
no.
which I know it's really hard out there. I'm sorry, guys, whoever's
Yeah.
single, it's
Yeah.
really hard out
Yeah.
there. But I'm like, what happened to like the old school way, you know?
Well, I was like, we talk about that too because I mean, we've got married last year, but we've been
Hmm.
together for a long time
Hmm.
since 2012.
Yeah,
And we did, like, we met through friends.
yeah,
We were like flirting on, I think it was MySpace at that
yeah,
time. And then it's like, you go meet them and it's like, you get that excitement
yeah,
where like we had to figure out how to like a conversation. And that was actually one of the things that I loved about him the most. He
yeah,
was able to hold a conversation.
exactly. Like,
I can't even imagine. Like my friends that are single, there's some horror stories, man, where like there's
oh my
some
God,
real weirdos out there.
yeah, 100%. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, there's no communication anymore. Like, there's like no eye contact, like no nothing. It's just very tech.
Hmm.
Or I'll bring up like my nieces or like, my younger cousins, the younger ones. I'm like, these are so boring. Like,
Yeah, they still on
where's
their
the
phones.
excitement? I used to freaking go out and like, get lost, but you guys are so reliant on like a computer, like on the tip of your hands that there's no socialization anymore. I just feel like there's a lot of sense of lost communication now, especially when it comes to like people. And then when it comes to retail, that's being lost. That was a social area for us, like mom, like, can you take me to the mall?
Yeah.
Like it was a place for social. And now that's just being like drifted in a different direction. We're just gonna be, I feel like the new generation, I'm sorry, but they're more robotic. Like
They
there's
are.
no sense of like feeling, no sense of like just, you know what I mean? Yeah,
I don't know. I could go down this whole like rabbit hole about all
same.
that, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay,
I'm like, why are
so
you like this? Like,
it's scary because it's not their fault.
yeah,
They're growing up in a weird time.
yeah.
Like that's not
But I
simple
feel like
anymore.
I'm not a parent
Yeah,
and I
I'm not
can't
either.
speak for it or even feedback. Like I'm a person that works well on feedback.
Hmm.
I mean, given what I used to do in my past career, like, how was I going to do my job better if you're
Right.
not giving me feedback? So, like, I had a couple of employees where I would give feedback to them, like, you're getting mad because I'm telling you, like, how to do your do your
Mm.
job, do your job a little bit more easier, like better, but you're coming back at me, and I'm just like, you can't be sensitive when someone's trying to help you, And if you tell me like, hey, like I didn't like the way this came out, I'm like, okay, like
Yeah,
give me
cool.
a chance to fix the issue and then I will make sure I don't repeat the same mistake again. When was that lost? Like when was feedback
Well,
lost?
it's like problem solving skills, like the
100%.
basics of like
Yeah.
conversation.
Nobody's gonna hold your hand, honey. Like your mom and dad or whomever takes care of you is never. Fortunately, they're not gonna be around long. You need to figure it out. Grow up. That's how all the men in my family are, unfortunately.
No, I love that. It's just scary. Like even
Yeah,
hiring, I'm like, who can I
it's
trust to
so
like
hard.
have a key to my store,
Hmm.
have access to the I don't know. It's just
Yes,
scary.
it's very hard
Yeah.
finding good people too. So like my groomer, Melissa, I swear I could trust her. She's seen me. I don't cry in front of anybody. Or even like when I called her when my cousin passed away, I was like,
Hmm.
crap, like she's gonna hear me cry. And she's like, it's okay. I'm like, no, girl, like I hate crying. Well, not in front of anybody. But I felt like she has been a very solid piece in my business. And I trust her. Like, there's so there's so much well communication between her and I. Like our chemistry is great.
That's important.
Yeah, it's so important. I'm like, and she's not scared to give me feedback, even though like I'm her boss. She's like, she don't care. I'm like, because how am I gonna get better for my employee if I don't know what's going on, like the time or like whatever it is. So our communication is like we have over communication. And I feel like that's lost too. I get now, whatever, I don't know what's going on with the job force right now, but it's very hard to find somebody. Like the way I describe finding a great employee is like finding money on the
No,
floor.
it's true.
And then you try to keep that money as much as you can. Like it's draining. There's months where it's long. Like March has been freaking long. Like why?
I
This
was
whole quarter has been long.
I was just showing my mom your videos because I was like, hey, I have a podcast
Mhm,
tomorrow. It's my friend Priscilla. She has a mobile dog grooming
mhm.
business. And my mom was like, wait, what? So I showed her a video of you, but it was a compilation of you clipping their
Oh,
nails. You pay so much attention to how they're feeling. And I think that's
yeah.
why you're so successful.
I think also it's like if I see a dog, like let's just say like they're nail reactive, right? They hate having their paws touched.
My dog.
I'm like, what? It also, it's like, what happened before? Where can we fix it? Where can we rebuild trust and confidence? Because sometimes, like, dogs who lack that, and I feel like as humans, we also lack confidence. So I'm like, what happened? We're
Oh,
lacking that. So like, I put myself in their shoes. So I'm like, okay, so maybe a previous groomer snipped your nails a little too short. Let's rebuild that between you and I. How are we gonna work that up?
I love that.
Yeah, so I have dogs who like girl like who were super aggressive or very reactive, whatever the case was, and now they love being groomed. So it takes time, it's patience. It takes a lot for me to like run out of patience, and I feel like this is such a great job to have, especially if you do like working with animals. But working with animals also comes with a price. Like
Yeah.
you see so many bad, you see the ugly. You don't have that when I first got into it, like I had the whole mindset, like, oh my God, everybody loves their animals, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not the case sometimes. Like oh my gosh, my first aggressive dog, I found her on like an app. This poor little Maltese, probably like less than 8 pounds. She was aggressive because she was fearful. And when the lady brought her to us, like this thing had like a 20-pound like chain on her neck.
Oh my God.
And I looked at my mom and was like, but this little thing was like so skinny, malnourished, like big old chain that weighs more than her. And then like we took the chain off and like all of her neck was like open with lesions, like just cut everywhere. And like that's not her fault. Like it's not her fault why she's reacting. She's just reacting to protect herself. So I'm like, it probably took like 2 to 3 times, but at that point, like she was just way too aggressive for us to handle. And you try to give parents homework but sometimes like you can't complete those tasks without the parent doing their homework. So I'm like, when someone's telling you like, hey, we need to work on this, I'm like, I need you to work on this. So I'm like, when I tell people like you get a puppy, introduce them to grooming at home, and then once they have their full vaccinations, set them up for like a bath and tidy, which is like a cleanup in the face, like the butt area, blah blah blah, which like I like to do is like introduce them to the tools like the noises because I need them to get familiarized with the process.
The fact that you even know to do that, though, I think is amazing.
I learned from other groomers. Like when I first started, even with like my mom, my mom's very like, did you get this? Yes. Okay, let's move on. And I'm like, okay. I think my mom, she's patient, but she's like, no,
Yeah.
we're one and done. But then I would reach out to other groomers and like some of them, sorry, they're fucking assholes. I remember having this one groomer and he was like in downtown LA and he was just like talking shit about like our business. Like we just can't,
You?
no, just generally us
Oh,
because like all you learned how to do when I was doing grooming school was like shave downs, like do a 7, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look like a naked rat. But that's the types of dogs we would get. We would get like super matted dogs, like full of ticks, full of like
oh,
fleas and everything. So I'm like, you can't save a coat when they're like pelted or matted. Obviously, they're gonna look a little ugly, but that's what comes with like a price at the time. Like you're trying to learn, you're learning on whatever you can. So this groomer was just talking shit, like, look at these ugly rats, blah blah blah. Like all you're gonna do is pay for a shave down, and like I was like, oh hell no. So I reported him because I'm a snitch. I would reach out to other groomers too, and they were very like snappy. But then I told myself, like, I'm not going to be that way if
yeah.
somebody's going to reach out to me. So, like, I've I try to build relationships with other groomers too, because I'm like, what's something that might not work for me might work for somebody else.
Hmm.
The grooming community is very small. So like everybody somehow knows each other. Same thing with like, small businesses. Like
Yeah, no,
everybody knows each
it's
other.
a small
It's a
community.
small but big
Yeah.
community. And I told myself, like, I'm not gonna be that person. If somebody needs my help or needs advice, like I'm gonna help them. Like, if you don't want to take it, that's up to you.
Hmm.
But I'm there to help. And same thing with like other groomers. Like I will reach out, like, hey, like I got myself into the situation, like what would you do? So we just try to help out where we can. And I feel like that's really important to have like that other communication with other groomers too, because you never know like when you're gonna come into that situation. So when it comes to like dogs, I feel like it's very important to build confidence. That relationship has to have confidence and that has to have trust. So whatever the situation is or whatever their area, their background is, I feel like we need to start building like that rapport with that client. I feel like at this point, like in my career, I'm like, I just need to build trust. So I'm like, if I see a dog that has problems, I'm like, I'm gonna say something. And a lot of people don't like feedback, but that's just the way I work. I'm like, if you know me as a person, I will speak my mind.
Well, you're honest,
Yeah,
and
and
that's
I'm like,
important.
yeah, and like, I'm sorry that your dog was having a bad day, or
Yeah.
your dog, my dog's an asshole. I'm saying, I'm sorry, Cash, I love him to death, but he's a dick. So I tell people, I'm like, yeah, he's an asshole, but you know what? He's very sweet, but he's an asshole. So he's very smart. So and I tell people, like, dogs have bad days too. Cats
Yeah.
have bad days. I'm like, we have bad days. I'm like, I don't know why they have bad days because they're little freeloaders,
Our little broke
little
besties.
broke besties. But I'm like, this is where we come in and we try to like get better for them, and then we need to just build that relationship.
I I keep thinking of your mom because
Mhm,
we had a workshop on Sunday. It was a day of like honoring ancestors,
mhm,
and it was just a really special event. Like I
mhm,
can't explain it. So I was here Sunday. I
mhm,
woke up with this like manic energy.
mhm.
I don't know. Sometimes I wake up like that,
You're
like
like,
crazy, where I'm like,
yeah,
no, I have all these things to do. And literally the things now are like clean the bathroom at the store, cut the bags. Like it's like simple tasks.
yeah,
But I think, and I'm being like transparent and
mhm,
honest and like vulnerable.
mhm.
I feel like those work lists that I do for myself keep me busy so
Yeah,
I feel productive
yeah,
because this is such a change in lifestyle for me.
uh-huh,
So I woke up crazy and I'm like, okay, I have all these things to do before the event on Sunday. And I'm like running around. And then, Tess is intuitive, the girl
yeah,
that works for me on Sundays. And I swear to God, I see her and she like, I can always tell what my energy's like based on like what she looks like. Cause like, it's either like, hey girl, or it's like, oh, and it's like an insider between us. Like
yeah,
we already know. And I love her so much because like I need people around me like that are like,
yeah,
girl, like you're being crazy.
yeah,
But she helps me also with like calming and stuff.
yeah.
So I start the day off like that. I get into the workshop and the facilitators, one is Gaga from Pura Tierra Inca,
Mhm,
and then Jessica from Madre Magica.
mhm,
And they facilitated the event. Erica from Now Us Foundation was here also.
mhm.
And in her opening speech, like I didn't know how much I needed that.
Uh-huh.
I self-sabotage also, and I'm aware of that now.
Yeah.
And that day, I was so ready to go home, where I
Mhm,
was like, okay, everything's done. I'm gonna skip out on it. Like I
mhm,
planned on attending. I'm like, no, I'm gonna skip out on it. I'm just tired. I want to go home. I have guilt sometimes where like I feel like I'm not home enough,
mhm.
and I'm
Same.
like, no, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Well, I ran into Erica. I can't explain it, but it was almost like when I talk to certain people, I feel like they see me,
Mhm.
and I think she knew I needed to be there. She has this really calming, like loving presence. I can't explain it. It's just very
It's
grounded.
just like ease.
Like when I
Like
think of a
breathe.
woman,
Yeah.
I think of her. Like
Yeah.
she's so confident in who she is and like she's just amazing. I
Mhm.
really want you to meet. I want to work more with her.
Yeah.
So she goes, Jasmine, like you're feeling this because you channeled this event.
Mhm.
Like, we're executing, but it was your seed.
Mhm.
So she's like, you should really stay at least for the sound bath. So I go inside and Tess is like, you need the sound bath. Like,
Yeah.
stay for the damn sound bath. So we're sitting down and Erica's talking and she talks about, honoring your ancestors
Mhm.
and how when we say ancestor, we think of like 200 years back,
Mhm.
where sometimes it's not even that far back. It's
Mhm.
like we look at our mom's eyes
Mhm.
and that's the closest we'll ever be to our
Yeah.
ancestors. And like in our mother's eyes, we can see the history, the love, the pain, all the things.
Yeah.
And I got like really emotional. I'm like,
Mhm.
why am I so emotional right now? And I'm like, because it's true,
Yeah.
and when you talk about like working with your mom, like I love when my mom's at the shop.
Yeah.
And those are the things where I'm like, I definitely made the right decision.
Yeah.
Like, the sound bath was amazing. That
Mhm.
was the first one I've ever
Yeah.
participated in. And like the way you can like feel it. Have you done one
No,
before?
I actually it's on my list to do.
Okay, we should find one together because I
Yes.
want to do another
Let's
one.
do it.
You can literally feel it in your like ears and brain, like
Mhm.
like the things like shifting. But that day, I go through these episodes where I'm like, what did I do? Like, oh my God, what does the future look like? Like, I don't know if you panic like that.
Oh, girl, I have panic attacks, but they're not as bad as they used to be. I used to like, think I told you before, like I would black out
Yeah.
at work and I'm like, why am I blacking out? It's from having stress and anxiety and like trying to do everything all at once and trying to finish all my tasks. But I was doing like a 5 people job in one. So now I'm doing like 10 people job in one, but I'm like, this is easier to manage. But I feel like, so I had done this project in school about stress management
Ooh,
and
okay.
different types of stress. So there could be good stress and you're trying to keep performing really well because your results are like increasing. And then there's bad stress. So it's like there's different types of bad stress, right? So I'm like, this is a good type of stress, but I'm like, I need to learn how to manage it. So that's where I'm at right now. It's like in between. So the way I see it, it's like I have panic attacks, but I'm like, oh no, but it's gonna be fine. Like once I like complete it, like I'll be fine. So I feel like we always overthink things, like we overanalyze it. But at the end of the day, it's like it's gonna be fine. Like I have to reassure myself a lot. Like,
It's like, I feel like I'm on this crazy ride of like emotion. Like,
mhm,
I woke up manic. I participated in the sound bath,
mhm,
and the sound bath was wild. Like, I got a
yeah,
lot of clarity in that. And I woke up and I just looked around me and I was like, if I never made the decisions that I made
mhm,
in leaving my job and being brave and opening the
mhm,
store, like this moment would have never happened.
yeah,
And like, look at how many people needed it. They sold out.
yeah,
And that's where I get peace, where I'm like, you know what? This is happening for a reason.
mhm,
It's going to work out the way it's meant to,
yeah.
and I have no control.
Everything falls into place because it
Yeah.
was meant to be. And I feel like we manifest it too, but I feel like sometimes we don't feel like that is being done quicker, but
Hmm.
it just comes at time. Like I told my husband, I'm like, my goal for the business is like, obviously I want to get booked out, but that comes with time too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really happy that my groomer is like starting to book out quickly. Like
That's
I'm
exciting.
really like really happy for her. And like I taught her, I'm like, sometimes she's so hard on herself too because she's a perfectionist. I'm like, girl, stuff happens all the time. You just have to freaking flow with it. Like so yesterday I was out till like 9:30 at night because we needed to do some
Oh my
work
gosh.
done on the buses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my husband's like, why do you put yourself in situations? I'm like, because we've been so busy. You know, I've been, just trying to figure out like my personal life, like, losing 2 people within like a couple of months, like
No,
it
yeah.
freaking sucks. And you kind of set aside, like for me, like I set aside my business, like because I'm like, you're trying to put everything together, but still trying to like afloat. And I feel like that finally caught up this month. So we gather yourself, but grief comes in different, it just comes within like waves.
Yeah.
And it always comes for me like when I'm driving or like
Hmm.
my cousin was like a huge fan of Carol G. So like when she comes up, I'm like, dumb bitch. Are you kidding me? Like you really had to come in right now. Like I was having like, but it just comes at random. And for me, it's like I'm finally like swimming to shore and like I'm finding like my land and like I feel like everything's going back into place the way it should be. As business owners, we just go through a lot and you want to put face to your business, but you're trying to like laugh about it, but sometimes it hurts. Like
No, it's hard.
it's hard.
Grief is hard. I never really knew what that was like.
Yeah.
And I feel really fortunate and lucky to be able to say that because
Yeah.
a lot of my friends and their kids had to deal with grief early on,
Yeah.
but losing my grandpa was like the first big one for me.
Yeah.
And it's been 2 or 3 years. The first year, it's almost like you're like
You're like,
you're like, okay, it's gonna be all right. Like, and then
yeah.
the second year is hard.
Yeah.
It's harder, way harder than the first year.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's okay. Like there's days where
Yeah.
I can talk about him and be totally fine. And then there's days like yesterday. Like
Yeah.
so my grandpa was a veteran and
Hmm.
he always had a hat on.
Hmm.
And there's things that'll happen to me
I'm
throughout the
like, my
day.
first service. Yeah.
There's things that'll happen to me like throughout the day where I'm like, is this a sign or am I crazy? So like one of my favorite pictures of me and him is at Disneyland and we're
Mhm.
on the Jungle Cruise ride and I'm like screaming because I'm scared, I
How
think.
cute.
But he was holding me and like
Yeah.
when I think of our relationship, that's what I think of. Like he
Yeah.
was just safety for me.
Yeah.
And me and my mom sit on this bench and I'm telling her, I just told her, oh yeah, that ride reminds me of my grandpa because we
Uh,
had just got off it. This older Mexican man with a
mhm.
stroller comes with his granddaughter
Mhm.
and he's like, can I sit here right next to
Mhm.
my mom? And he has a veteran's hat on and I looked and I was like, I'm gonna lose it right now. Like I'm just gonna start crying.
Yeah.
So he gives the hat to his granddaughter.
Uh-huh.
Because I was trying not to look, you
Yeah.
know? So then he gives his hat to his granddaughter and the
Uh-huh.
hat's like facing me the way she's
Yeah.
holding it. And I'm like, can you not? You child? Like, can you not? But it's things like that where like, yeah, I get sad, but it
Yeah.
also makes me smile because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very logical, so I'm like, do we say they're signs to make us feel better, or are they really signs? Like,
I firmly believe it. Like when like we lost Nike 2020, my dog. So my logo, you'll see the middle dog. Like that's my
oh, I
personal.
didn't know that.
Yeah, she's my girl. Even after she passed away, like she literally changed like a part of my life. She was like my first dog, and I feel like the first dog always hurts the most. And we had like a great relationship too. So she was like my go-to. Like she was like my safe zone. You know, I had my husband too, but it's like a different type of
Yeah,
sorry, babe.
they get it.
Yeah, like she's just like a different type of love. And the fact that like the way I see my aunt, like my dogs, like they're just so innocent, but losing them, it's like it's a different type of like loss. And she was another backbone for me, especially during the pandemic. You know, we would like have breakfast and
Oh,
like everything. Like we had a routine, and you know, you just are so codependent on like on your pet, like to be there for you. Like literally, you rely on them for like emotional support. And then when we found out she was like diagnosed, which is way too late in the game to like save her, she was diagnosed with like, bone cancer. You want to do everything you can for them, but at the end of the day, it's like you see this little strange animal with four legs in
yeah.
your house, and like you build a relationship with them, but you try to do as much as you can. But at the end of the day, like she was just so weak, and the only right thing to do was to help her cross over to the Rainbow Bridge. But there's a relationship there, like with your for me, like when it comes to animals, I'm very sensitive to them. It's just like building that relationship. So every time I see anything that has to do with that, I'm like, there's a relationship to build. But losing like an animal, like even when my clients like they message me like so and so passed away, I'm like,
Oh,
it's so hard. Like it's different losses, but it affects you in a different way. And I don't even know like when if I knock on wood, Frida doesn't leave me soon, but Frida, oh God, gremlin. When we got Frida, probably like a month and a half after Nike passed away, like I don't like that dog. Like she was my first puppy,
mhm.
and there was a lot to learn. It's how like having a child.
Yeah.
If she was bad, like I would call her like a little demon ankle biter. Like we call her the troll because that little troll will run up our stairs and bite our ankles. So
Oh
we
my
call her the
God.
stairmaster
She's like
troll.
the stair monster.
Or the stairmaster. I'm like, you're such a little freaking troll. But it's funny because I didn't realize like I needed her to kind of like help with like reading Nike and like, but then sometimes like I would think about Nike and I'm like, you're not like her. Like she was such a great dog too, but you're comparing apples to oranges too.
Do you fill her with you, your original dog?
Yeah, so like the week after she passed away, I swear to you, I heard her drinking water downstairs. And she had a very distinct drink of water. Like I don't know, she's a mastiff, so mastiffs are kind of
Mm,
dirty.
hmm.
Like they're very like slobbery, but it was weird. And I would hear her and like I woke up one day and like I heard her next to me going up the stairs and I'm like, that's
Oh, she
Nike.
was with
She was with
you.
me. And then another time was like I don't know if I heard her like food bowl moving, but she would always like hide her food, although there was like nothing to hide. And I just I would hear her. So every time like for me, I love massives. I'm a massive girl. I will always prioritize them. I'm sorry.
Well, now you
My
know.
bad.
Now you know if you have a mastiff.
Yes, bring him that way. I just feel like I see a lot of Nike and like a lot of mastiffs. So like I get them. But now I see have Frida, I'm just like all my Rottweilers and like my Dobermans. But Frida literally sent me out of a hole too because like when I lost Nike, it was like every day was very emotional. And after that, I didn't have time. I was like, I need to take care of this stupid
Yeah.
dog. Like, I
Mhm.
need to take care of her. So she kind of like saved me in that way. Um, and then I got Cash, my little troublemaker too. But with him too, it was like no time to think. I'm like, you just have to do, like, you have to train. So I'm like, the relationship between like Cash and I is he's so freaking stubborn. Like, so when I see dogs who are like him, I'm like, ah, you're smart little shit is what you are. So,
Our first pug
mhm,
passed away, and that was really hard.
mhm.
I've told you this before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because he was such a scrawny, scrappy
Hmm.
pug, like he was very reactive.
Hmm.
So we took him out. He was super close to my husband. Like
Yeah.
Anthony would always have to hold him because he would just pop off,
Hmm.
dude. Like he was snappy.
Hmm.
And we were really depressed. Like we were
Yeah.
really sad. And like the hole that it leaves in your house, it's literally losing a person. Like you lost a person.
So quiet. Like
It
the
is.
quiet is very unsettling.
And that's what like I feel like we didn't really expect was like, okay, he's gone, but like we need what are we doing with his toys?
Yeah.
What are we doing with like his clothes and all the
Yeah.
things? So we went like a month and a half.
Hmm.
And we were dead set. We were like,
Hmm.
we don't want another dog, but everybody was like, Jasmine, you're gonna get another one and
Hmm.
it's gonna happen when you need it. Like
Yeah.
it'll happen on its own time. Anthony's friend does in-home care
Hmm.
and he knew someone that needed to rehome a pug.
Hmm.
So we went to check him out and we had this theory that like maybe Artie ate a plant or something in the
Hmm.
house. So we really wanted to like clean. We
Hmm.
didn't know if it was a spider or what because we
Hmm.
had just done testing and he was
Hmm.
healthy. So Anthony was super paranoid about it. But the second I saw Al, I was like, oh my God. Like I fell in love with him.
He's so cute.
He's
He's
like
okay.
this chunky little potato that's just like so happy all
Yeah.
the time. Total opposite of Artie.
He's like a good greeter. He
Yes.
wants to greet me everywhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my little fatso. And like for me and him, it was an immediate bond. Like, have
Yeah.
you seen Twilight, right? Like
Yeah.
I swear, Al imprinted on me. Like that's my son.
Uh, Frida, when I first got her, I didn't bond with her. I was like, you're evil. Like she's so bad. Like she was freaking cute, but she was so like she was mean to me, but she would try to dominate me. And I was like, bitch, you're not gonna dominate me. But she would. But Nike never dominated me. The thing is that like she already came trained and she came already had housebroken. So I didn't really I all that legwork I never did.
Yeah.
So you come, I get this puppy and I had a potty trainer, I had to like fighting everything. So it's like puppy proofing the requirements, like having a baby.
I really want to collaborate with you. Like the more we talk, I'm like, how
Yeah.
do we do this? So I want to have a birthday party for Al.
Let's do it.
I kind of talked to you about like a
Mhm.
pug adoption event, so I need to
Yes.
get on that. But I'm trying to think like how can we do something together? We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll vision board it.
Where can we support you? Like where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Fresh Paws Mobile Spa or on my website. It's kind of long, so I try to add it somewhere.
I'll add it in the
Yeah.
caption.
And then my phone number 562-964-8937. Just text me because I don't answer calls when I'm driving or with the pet.
Yeah, text
And
her.
please. I like to have a black and white. I'm like, that's how I work. So I'm like, only because there's always a he said, she said, and I always go back to whatever my clients tell me. So I like
It's
screenshots.
so hard.
Yeah.
Like, okay, my business is totally different
Hmm.
because it's just different.
Hmm.
Like you're a one woman show
Hmm.
and well, two women show,
Yeah, but
but it's
primarily,
you.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
you. I feel like a big issue in small businesses, like we all have these like massive dreams, but like on the ground, it's like hard.
it's very hard. You wear multiple hats. Like,
Yeah.
so you're trying, so like for me, I try to answer text messages when I can. And if I have a chance to do it there and then, I do it. But it's like every dog is different. Like different coat types, blah blah blah, like coat condition, like how's your dog, like any behavior issues, like whatever the case is. So I'm like trying to like resolve and quote make a quote that best fits the client. And it's like, okay, I know you have questions, but I'm like, I also have questions too. So sometimes I'll just send them like my link and I'm like, hey, like I just need you to fill out this questionnaire because I'm like, this is the way I know how I'm going to navigate your dog. But I don't know if people can comprehend or they just don't want to do like what I've been noticing, and I don't know if you have, is that people don't like to read anymore.
No, they don't.
I I need to have a black and white on all my clients. So like if we're having a conversation, I try to summarize as much as I can. Or like if you're replying back to me, like, or if we're having a conversation, I repeat it back because I want to assure that I understand what you want. So sometimes people like, do what do you want? But I'm like, what do you want? Like, do whatever you want. I'm like, but would you like whatever I give you? Like, like sometimes it's very gray. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what you want as a client, like, or what your dog needs. Because sometimes I'm like, does your dog really need this? No. So I'm like, I'm not going to charge you for something that you don't need.
What trips me out is like how quickly people sign a contract without reading it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, we're like, no, I need you to read it
Yeah.
so that I know we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Like there's just certain things that like I do. Like I have a new vendor packet, or like
Mhm.
if you sign at the shop, you get a
Mhm.
new vendor packet. And
Yeah.
it explains literally, I think, okay,
Yeah.
what are they gonna ask me? And
Mhm.
I try to mainstream it because of time. I just
Yeah.
don't have time. I'm not gonna text you.
Yeah.
I'm super protective of like my time too.
Mhm.
So I try to simplify it.
Yeah.
I will get things that I know are in that packet, and I'm like, and I'm not doing it to be mean, but I'm like, listen, like I just need you to read this packet.
Yeah.
If you have a question outside of this packet or about the
But
packet,
you should always be reading something that you're going to sign or
yeah,
agree to, because I'm
right.
like, what if they don't align with what you believe in, or like your morals or whatever it is? But even like example, if you're going to sign up to a job, you want to read their handbook.
Yeah.
You always want to read a handbook because like that's literally a legal documentation of what the company represents. Now, if you do not have that alignment, how are you going to work with somebody comfortably with something that you don't agree on, right? So like for me with my clients, I'm like, I feel like our policies are pretty standard.
Yeah.
I'm very on my clients about it. And like I have other groomers who will ask me like, example, cancellation, right? I give you 72 hours,
Hmm.
3 days. That's more than
It's a lot
enough
of time.
time. I'm like, I'm not the weatherman. I'm like, it's gonna rain. That's your job to check. I have other things to do. If you don't want a wet dog and you cancel the same day, I'm gonna charge you because that robs the opportunity from somebody else to get that appointment that they've been waiting for, and then that's not fair. So like, imagine you show up to work, you're like, oh hey, there's no work. Do I still get paid for the time? No. So on California, you do because it's California. However, like that's not what I'm talking
Not for you.
not for me anyways, but I'm like, so I had like a groomer reach out. She goes, well, what do you do? I'm like, well, did she sign the agreement? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, send it to her and let her know, like, if, your no show is not paid, like, you can file a report and let them know, like, hey, like, if you don't pay me within like whatever your time is, like to receive the payment, let them know, like, you have that limit. If not, like, you're going to file a report. So I'm like, you don't want that to happen. I did that to somebody. I'm like, and I don't feel like as business owners, we get so taken advantage of. I shouldn't be chasing you. I'm not a
No.
freaking debt collector. I'm just trying to get paid so I can pay my bills. I can buy whatever I need to buy for the business. So I can pay my employee. I can pay her tips or whatever. I'm like, it's not fair that as a business owner, I have to chase you down. So I'm like, as much as I would like to add $5 per day onto your account, do you want to keep having that bill increase because you simply don't want to pay a bill? I'm like, if you can't afford it, like I right now, I don't know what the economy looks like. If you can't afford a service, like say something.
Yeah.
We've been in that boat before. You'll find that I'm very understanding if you can't pay it front.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit happens all the time. So I'm like, what happens? I'm like, I'm chasing you down, like I'm haggling you, and like I hate bothering people. I'm very like easygoing. But the moment like I'm chasing you down, I very feel like I'm the freaking villain, which I'm not. You're making yourself a villain from not paying that small business.
Girl.
No, we talk. Groomers talk. Hairstylists talk. Nail techs talk. Everybody talks. Now, if you run like whatever, hopefully nobody runs out on like their nail people or like their hair people. But I'm like, I talk to other groomers, and if I feel like that client rubbed me a wrong way or like did this to me, know that I do give out the name, not all the information because they are confidentiality laws out there. However, I do make them aware.
Dude, it's wild. Like it's crazy to me how like people lack tact. I don't like, do you ever I'm only gonna talk about this once. I like swore I would never do it again, but it's
Uh-huh.
so relevant. Do you remember the summer market I had?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. At your old
at my
location,
old
right?
store.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big event
Hmm.
and it was busy. Like
Yeah.
it was hot, but I can't control the weather either.
100%. Yeah.
So there was a group of
Hmm.
women
Hmm.
that were conveniently all in the same section that conveniently came for me together. And I was
Hmm.
so over it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this shit was so childish.
Yeah.
I was just like, how old are we?
Yeah.
Like, the fee was very reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, my goal is for people to always take home a check. I don't
Yeah.
ever want to be the person that's just collecting fees.
Yeah.
That's not my vibe.
And I feel like also not only are you providing a platform to like small businesses, like you're putting their name out there and like
Yeah,
you're promoting the hell out of them. Like, because one, like your store, it has a lot of great energy.
thank you.
And I feel like it's a great platform to have. Like, you just have so many, it's like a small factor, like just put into one. And I feel like that's what built it. So I'm like, it's like a bunch of hearts and souls put into one area. And there's a lot that comes good from it. You're coming after somebody who's doing good for the community and like trying to help you out and throwing them under the bus. That's just shitty
But
spirit.
I remember like I had no idea, dude. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was a great day. Like the people that I did talk to, that I
Hmm.
had the chance to talk to that day were like, no, it's like the turnout's great. I
Hmm.
fucking paid Katie to be there.
Hmm.
Like I don't know if this small group, because in the larger scheme of things, it was
Yeah.
10%. I had 47 people there,
Hmm.
four people were
Yeah.
not happy. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I can deal with that.
Hmm.
It was the aftermath. Like I woke up and I was on cloud nine still, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh my God, it was such a great day. And
Hmm.
then I checked my phone. Girl, I was like, they are not. Like
Yeah.
I was so confused. So I didn't have to, but I did. I was pissed and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I posted this breakdown of like the DJ was like 600
I
bucks. The
remember.
flyers were like $100.
Hmm.
I was in the negative
Hmm.
$100 for that event. So
Yeah.
for someone to be like, you
Yeah.
made your money.
Yeah.
I was like, did you wake up mad today? Like, what's your beef, dude? Like, what's your problem? No one told you to come here. I was super transparent about everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like people see Instagram and like I get it in every reading.
Hmm.
You probably do too. It's the evil eye card or there's some bullshit in my aura. And I'm like,
That's why I wear a lot of red bracelets with evil eye.
dude,
I
I
don't
have
have
them
one now because I
everywhere.
don't need it. But
No, I have them everywhere.
yeah.
There's this perception of me and local gem collective out
Hmm.
there that like, oh, she got lucky or she had money already.
Yeah.
And it's
And
like,
like it's
no.
so building the first van that we had, it was like, where are we gonna get our money from?
Yeah.
Oh my God, like, I didn't have credit at that time, like business credit, like a business line. Like I only had my personal credit.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you know, like putting your personal credit for a business is so risky.
Yeah.
So risky. It's like you're gambling. And, it did work in our favor, like knock on wood, like it keeps going into our favor, but it's like we had the second bus.
Hmm.
So with the second bus, it was a little bit more troublesome because like we just finished paying back the first bus. And then we get our second unit and it's like, oh shit, we have to tap into our 401k. We have to tap into like our savings, like everything. So I'm like, all of that cost came out of our personal bank accounts. It didn't come from a bank. It didn't come from nothing. Like it literally came out from our personal
Yeah.
banks. And it sucks because like people are like, oh, they have money. I'm like, no. To build a business, you need to spend money. Like I analyzed last year's like all the events I did and I spent a lot of money. And I put my name out there, like we put our name out there because like I want people to know like what we do and
Hmm.
what we represent and like how we work. Because I feel like every person works differently. You want you want to paint a picture of like how your business runs. I'm like, I'm very transparent. Like I tell everybody, I'm like, if you want to work with me, if you want to be my friend, if you want to be in my life, like I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking and I expect you to do the same.
Yeah.
And example, like the first unit probably cost us like 120, no, 110, which is a
Wow.
lot of money coming out of like that's like a down payment on the
That's a
house.
lot of money.
And then the second unit was like probably a bit more because it's a bigger bus and like everything's more expensive within like a couple of years after that. So it's like she has money. I'm like, no, like for a couple months last year, we were upside down. And it sucked because I'm like, you're playing catch up and you're finally building up that credit line. So I'm like, I don't know now. I haven't applied because we've been afloat, but you also have to take into accountability, like, what if something happens?
Hmm.
Like there's breakdowns. Like I'm mobile. I rely on my bus for like to work.
Yeah.
And what if like a battery runs out or like whatever the case is, like you have to have that backup. But sometimes like you don't have that backup. Like you have to freaking suck it up and just wait it out. And I don't think people realize like having a business like that or just like having an event or whatever, like sometimes you don't come back like making your money. Like you lose money. And having businesses like that, like just degrading you, like it sucks because
Well,
they never like they don't think about it. Like not only did you provide a space for them, for me the fee was great
yeah.
because get thrown on the bus, but whatever. You know, a lot of and I get it. A lot of like these new business events or like the pop ups, the fees are getting a little bit out of hand,
It's
and I'm
ridiculous.
like, you kind of don't want to do it anymore because like what guarantees you that a crowd's going to come in,
Yeah, it's
right? Like
ridiculous.
there's just there's a lot of competition, which and I feel like that's okay, but that sucks for the vendor because I'm like, what if you don't make your vendor feedback? Like what if it rains or whatever the case is? Like it takes a lot of time to coordinate having like an event, like let alone like a pop-up event. So I'm like having like that, like you're inviting people to your space
Yeah.
and you have expectations of how you wanted to navigate that day. And in your mind, you're like, oh my God, it went great. There's always going to be somebody criticizing you. And
The trippy thing
mhm,
for me was that it felt very personal.
yeah,
Like you were in your store.
yeah,
Like, okay, are you mad that I have a store?
yeah,
You were talking shit that,
very agitated.
yeah, right? Like it was crazy. And I'm like, this is
Mm,
insane. Here was like the good thing that came out of that
mhm,
because that was my 6 month
mhm,
anniversary. I've always been like a giver.
mhm.
That's just my nature.
Yeah.
That's who I am. That really taught me to take a step back
Mhm,
and see that like I own a business, I own a retail environment. There has to be some kind of separation, especially if I'm the facilitator, to say, okay, this is my show, this is how it's going to
yeah.
be. And it's just about having boundaries. That's
Yeah.
all it was. The cool part was that there was other shop owners that
Mhm,
have events that were like, they know me, they know my
mhm,
character.
mhm.
Hey, I'm so sorry this is happening to you,
Yeah.
but who are they? Because we don't want to work with them in the
Mhm.
future. I was honest. I go,
Yeah.
listen, I don't want anyone to have to deal with this, especially from a business claiming to be
Mhm.
holistic and all about energy.
Yeah.
Like that was a total opposite.
Yeah.
Here's who it is.
Yeah, like I feel like so the small business community is really small, like literally small. We all talk.
Hmm.
But the moment that you come jabbing at everybody else, like when they're trying to mind their business or trying to do good for you or like and for everybody else, like that shit's gonna bite you in the ass, like 100%. And I feel like I seen that a lot now, and I'm like, what goes around comes around. Like sometimes you just have to keep going forward.
I think
There's
people,
always a support behind you though. Like there's an army
yeah,
of like other women and other businesses who are always going to support you.
it's like 90-10, and 90 is
Yeah,
the good. And
yeah,
that's it, but it's that 10% that's like the hardest. Like
yeah.
it's the hardest 10%.
I feel like if you don't have chemistry with somebody, so like me, if I don't have chemistry with the client, I already know it.
Yeah.
For me, I know it's not going to work out. I might give it to Melissa because like I feel like me and her are very in tune. And if they don't like react with her, and I'm just like, oh, I know that they're not going to be a good client. Like, and I already know it. And I feel like as a business, like we need to start like going with our gut feeling.
Yes.
Trust it. Like, if you want to make a quick buck, don't do it. Like, because at the end of the day, like you're gonna get that loss. So I try to force relationships, like it just doesn't seem genuine to me. I'm like, and the fact that like I'm a very open-minded person, and if you can't take my spice, like I'm not for you. Like,
That was one of my goals this year because at the end of the year I was like, okay, let's just assess. And I
mhm,
feel like we all do that.
yeah,
I was too giving in my first year in business, too forgiving also.
yeah,
And this year I'm just really getting comfortable in doing things or not doing things that I don't want to do. Like, I guess it kind of goes into the people pleasing bucket.
so you're setting your boundaries. And
Yeah.
I feel like as business owners, when we start, we're always going to say like yes to everything. That's what it is. Like we're yes people.
Hmm.
And so we're like, the third year comes around, we're like, this is like messing with me.
Yeah.
And it's for me like same. That's like I'm trying to find my boundaries this year. I'm trying like to regain like my self-care and like try to prioritize myself first because I'm like, how am I going to perform at 100% when I'm not at 100%. You get what I'm saying?
That event taught me like, because okay, so I didn't respond,
Mhm.
and I was like, I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm just gonna be offline because that Sunday, we had just had a loss in our family.
Sorry.
It's a big deal. And that Sunday, we were all gathering to
Mhm.
kind of just talk. So I woke up and I was like, I feel stressed in my eyes. So if
Yeah.
my eyes are ever really swollen, you'll know
Mhm.
like something's wrong. I remember just
You're allergic
being,
to being stressed.
yeah, literally. I remember like being so tired and just like moody because I was
Mhm.
like, oh my God, like it really affected me.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things as an Aquarius that
Mhm.
like we're really good at perceiving what we want perceived,
Yeah.
but deep down we're dying
Yeah.
inside. But we
We're
just,
good at hiding our emotions,
yeah,
but when we unleash that, we're just like,
forget about
it
it.
flows.
Yeah, bye. When
Yeah.
I see red, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like,
It's because like I feel like we have a lot of patience, and when like you're poking the bear and that bear keeps getting poked at, we're just like, fuck this.
yeah, fuck it.
I'm done.
Yeah,
Like I'm fucking done. Like we give so many chances, but when people take advantage of that, we're just like, that's it. Like, and that's when we start building our boundary. And they're like, oh shit, like they're
yeah,
finally reacting and then they don't like it.
yeah. Then we're
But
mean.
it's like, I don't care. Like,
That's like you started it.
so my mom always says, she's like, you're the mean one. I'm like, no, I'm the fucking forgotten child. I'm the middle child. I'm like, not only that, I'm like, I've learned to speak up for myself, like as I gotten older, because like as a kid, I was like always pushed around. And like I said, I was a forgotten kid. Like
Yeah,
I'm the black sheep out of like the three. So it's like I kind of had to learn to speak up for myself. So like that has a lot to be in tune with like our business. Like as Aquarius, is we're just like we take so much shit, and then after we're tired of it, so we snap.
yeah.
You know.
Well, I snapped. So I
But
replied.
it was a for me for like my thing with that for you was like it's good that you spoke up because when else are you gonna put people or those businesses in place like that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It was
So
just like the Twilight Zone for me because I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know, like I don't know what went wrong.
yeah.
And it was like, I don't know. So I reacted
Hmm.
and I remember I was like, fuck it, I'm turning my phone off. I'm like not doing this anymore. And then I rested and I'm like, why did I even react? Like, why did it deserve it? And
Yeah,
half of me was like, no, that needed to happen.
yeah,
But from that day on, I promised myself I would never
yeah,
publicly react to anything
yeah,
because it just wasn't worth my peace. It
yeah.
wasn't worth my brand.
You kind of we have to learn how to pick and choose our
Yeah.
battles, and sometimes silence is the biggest battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember just like trying to rectify the situation by having all these conversations,
Hmm.
and it still wasn't good enough. So I
Yeah,
was like, you just want to be heard at this point.
yeah,
And there's something about me personally
hmm,
that triggers you for whatever reason.
yeah,
And that's when I was like, this isn't even about me.
yeah.
And then I had that realization where I'm like, okay, when people do shit like that, 99% of the time it's not about you.
Hmm.
There's something going on with them.
Yeah,
And I'm like, it's not even worth it.
yeah,
And I felt like that was real growth for me.
yeah,
Because my whole life I felt like, I don't know, like the metaphor is like, no, they need to hear my side.
yeah,
Like they need to hear what I went through. And it's like, no, they don't.
yeah,
You have nothing to prove.
yeah. It's like I've seen vendors like, and they'll like low blow it, and I'm like, why are you like that?
Mm,
So I'm like, for me, like I stopped giving the time of day because I'm like, I don't want that energy. Like if I distance myself like from like vendors or whatever for certain reasons, it's because like I was like, no, like
yeah.
you're draining. I'm like, I know why you're draining. I'm like, and I can't do it. Like, um, like again, the grooming community is very small. So I'm like, if you're asking why, like I am at the place where I'm at and I'm trying to help you, but you're like throwing jabs at me. I'm like, girl, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Like, I'm trying to help you, but if you want to be this way and unsupportive, I'm like, go ahead. Like, go ahead and trade water somewhere else. Cause I'm like, I'm very helpful.
Yeah, you are.
And I even like redirect clients to other people if I can't do the job. Or like if the dog is too much for me or me, Melissa can't do it, like I navigate those clients to everybody else or somewhere else because I'm like, if I can complete the job, I know somebody else would. Now, if you're being a little
Difficult?
it's difficult and I'm trying to help you out, but you're being this way, I'm not gonna help you out. Like I'm just gonna seclude you on purpose and not talk to you anymore. And because your energy is not worth it. So I'm like, my silence is really big because I can give you so much of my life and I can give you so much like positivity or whatever, but once like you do something wrong to me, me voy. Like I'm leaving. So that's what I do. Like I feel like that's who we are as people. Like we give so much, and then when people don't give us that same energy back or just comes back very negative, we're just like, okay, whatever, like bye. So that's the type of person I am, and I feel like you are too.
I am.
So I started drinking early, like 12.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, I really my turn like turn around like maybe like with my teens because now I would go party, blah blah blah, would get blacked out drunk and like sometimes I don't remember where I was at and like not until I was working with my mom, like a lot of stories would come out and she's like, no wonder. I'm like, what
Yeah.
do you mean no wonder? I'm just like it's like sometimes you would just come home, you were just like passed the fuck out and you're like you were unrecognizable. Like I knew you were my daughter, but you were like you were just bad.
Yeah.
I never told her this.
Uh-oh.
So my parents separated my senior year, and it was like a couple of weeks after my birthday. Uh, and it was like in March, so I got into a motorcycle accident. I had just turned 18. I just met this guy. It was a friend of a friend, and I told her I was like, I never told her what the check was for because I got a big check. It was like a 10 grand check, and I was 21.
Oh my God.
2021. That's a lot of money for a 20-year-old. Like, you're just like, oh shit. And especially for like a single parent, you're like, where the fuck did
Yeah.
you get this check from? And not until I worked with her, I was like, I kind of like a lot of stories I told her, but I didn't tell her everything because she's like,
Mood.
I'm like, I analyzed my teen years and I was like, I don't know how I'm alive.
Yeah, how are we here?
Legit, like, I don't know how I'm alive at this point.
Our poor mothers, huh?
But it was a lot, like, as a teen, like growing up, like my parents didn't know, like, a lot of not trauma, but
Yeah.
just trying to figure out like who you are, but I think I didn't really figure out till I was until like my late 20s
Me
and
too.
like my 30s. Like I love my 30s. It's just like the way it's like you finally kind of figure out who you are and what you
Mhm.
want to do with life, and it's more fun.
I like thank my husband a lot
Yeah.
because before I met him, I was totally different.
Hmm.
I literally got live fast, die pretty on my arm when I was 18 because
Hmm.
I didn't think I would make it
Hmm.
like to my 30s or my 40s,
Yeah.
you know. I just didn't think the lifestyle that I was living
Hmm.
wasn't good. And then I met him and I remember it was like my whole world stopped. I've never told him this, so he's
Hmm.
gonna learn this watching this.
Hmm.
But I remember meeting him and it was like this is the kind of guy that like they talk about, like
Hmm.
the normal, no drama,
Yeah.
no anger, no abuse.
Hmm.
He was just like a normal dude.
Hmm.
And I remember like going hanging out with him and I'm like, this is so different. And I knew because we like disconnected for like a year and then reconnected.
Hmm.
But it was weird because I always knew that it would come back.
Hmm.
Is that weird?
No, so like me and my husband met at Dave and Buster's in Orange,
Hmm.
and I'm an LA County girl. I had no business doing nothing that day, but I met my husband that day. Ironically, we met the year I graduated from culinary school.
Oh my God.
And from there, like we just clicked. I was kind of drunk when I met him,
Hey,
but we just like been inseparable ever since. And I don't know how we've been married for like what are we, 4 years, but we
congratulations.
have the same, like you met him 2012
Yeah,
and I met him 2012 too.
yeah.
That's the year 2021. So like just he changed me a lot. Like he taught me and well teaches me like every day to be outspoken and communicate. Cause I'm like growing up like Latina, like our family never talked about our problems
Right.
ever. It was like sweep it under the rug, you move on with your life. But he's like, no, I want to talk about your problems. So I was shut down. And I was like, talk about my problems. Like
Like, who are
I
you?
know, I was like, why are you forcing me like shit? But he taught me a lot about myself too. Like he's like, you need to realize like sometimes when you're wrong, you're wrong. You have to admit it, and that's okay to be wrong. But like I'm very prideful.
Our husbands could never talk.
Please don't ever.
I like, he taught me about my fight or flight. So
Yeah.
my initial reaction to anything prior to him was to leave.
Yeah.
Like, I would just walk away,
Hmm.
disappear. And it was like that, where I was like, okay, you made me mad. I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
One time, it was over something stupid. We
Hmm.
were like, I don't know, I think I was like 21.
Hmm.
But I was like, whatever, I'm leaving. And I
Hmm.
got my stuff and I got in my car
Yeah.
and he followed me and I remember, dude, he was like, Jasmine, if you leave,
Hmm.
like, don't come back.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, shit, no one's ever told me that before.
Dice, vas a ver.
Yeah, and he's like, we're gonna talk about this
Yeah,
like adults.
yeah,
Like, we're not doing this.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, go back inside.
What was that? Yeah, did you have a little stick with your back?
But like, so my best friend's mom tells me too, she's like, he changed the trajectory of your life. Like, if it wasn't him, I would have never gotten married. It
Yeah.
just wasn't something that I thought I would do in my life.
Hmm.
And like, I'm just so grateful for him. Because even this venture now, like, I
Hmm.
wouldn't have been able to do it without him.
Yeah.
So,
They play a big role in like our lives. Like my husband with the business, I'm like, dude, like I don't know where I would be without you. Like I don't think he realizes how much he's appreciated. Like our husbands are so much appreciated. They're like that silent partner that
yes,
are not
girl.
silent sometimes, but they're still silent. And they play a big role. Like they're huge factors. So thank you, husband.
No, I'm so proud of us. Look at us.
Yeah. I'm like,
Look at us. I'm
yes,
so proud of
grown and
us.
glow.
Well, you're amazing. You've been great. I could
You
talk to you
too.
all day,
Yeah.
seriously. We're gonna have to do this again
Yes.
sometime.
It's birthday.
I can't wait.
Commentators. We
The
could do a
dogs.
puppy bowl.
Oh
Yes, puppy bowls.
my, I love.
Yes, let's do it.
Well, thank you guys for joining. This is episode 4.
Por la cuatra.
Thanks, girlfriend.
Yes.
Oh,
And I feel like for me, like my cousin was a huge cheerleader for like my sister and I's business. Like she's always advocated for us and supported us. And like, so like in a way, you lost a whole part of you.
yeah.